Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, GM.
GM Harry Swan, Hunter, thank you for showing up early. Appreciate you. Hope you're having a great Saturday. I know I've got a couple things checked off the list so far this morning. Did a little grocery run, did a little yard mowing, and then just a little cleaning up here and there. Busy Saturday. Right after this, got a little baby shower. Got to come back home, clean, and then, dang. Oh yeah, I think edit some more photos.
There you go. Busy
What about
day,
you?
busy
Yeah.
Saturday. Yeah, I mean my Saturday is pretty wide open right now. It's basically just gonna be getting some of the stuff in the house together. You mentioned mowing the lawn. I'm probably gonna have to go cut some grass too. I'm probably gonna touch some grass first. Then I'm gonna cut it. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yo, GM, no fear. Yeah, I checked out the F1 qualifying today. That went well. That was pretty fun to watch. And then today we have still got the ongoing PGA.
I forgot to mention that. That's basically what I'll be doing today and tomorrow is just posting up watching the PGA. And unfortunately, our boy Tiger's pretty much out of it. But hey, it's good to see he made the cut at least. And then we'll see at the top. We'll see what happens. But we're not gonna. This isn't a golf stream. We're not gonna talk about golf.
He had some nice holes to make the cut, so that was pretty nice.
Yeah,
that was pretty clutch of him.
It was good. All right, so let's go ahead and hop in to our usual start. Again, thanks everyone for joining us on this little Saturday vibe stream. Should be not too long, just a little quick one. We got some updates, some things to talk about, but let's kind of look at the market, see what it's been doing in the last 24 hours. And if we look at the top gainers, as usual, there's not really a lot going on, but there's a few that stick out. So the ones that stick out to me, I see three landers. Looks like they're up 27% back to over an ETH at 1.15. At one point these were around like 2.5, 3 ETH, and they've fallen off a little bit. So good to see them get back up there a bit. 'Cause I know that they're pretty popular among some people. And I know some of our viewers like Kaz. I think they're pretty in Dort. I think they're big fans of them and maybe still holders. And then we've got Hey Prime, shout out him totally. Hate Prime's up. They're at 0.8. Hey, don't call it a comeback, but there they are.
Hey, they're still alive. They're still kicking. 0.8, not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, if you bought it up 8 ETH, then it's bad. But hey, at least it's green right now. It's going up. And then the last one that stuck out to me was kind of towards the bottom at a nice little plus 15%, little currency, little Damien Hirst action.
Damien Hirst.
That's good to see because that thing has been in the dirt in the last like 6 months. So I'm a currency holder, so it's good to see it back to 5 ETH. Those got down to like 2.5, 3 ETH, but at one point they were up to those are up to last November, December, like 20, almost 20 ETH, right? 18 to 20 ETH. Like those are insane. They've kind of come down quite a bit. And I've actually, maybe I'll get your opinion on this. I'm kind of thinking about, because I got my currency, and their whole mechanic is you can keep it, or
redeem
you can
one,
or you can redeem it for the physical version of it. And whichever one you don't do, the opposite one's burned. So I'm kind of leaning towards, at first I was like, I'm keeping the NFT for sure, absolutely. But now I'm kind of flipping, like, I don't know, it'd be kind of cool to have a physical like Damien Hirst, I don't know. What do you have any thoughts on that? What would you do if you were in my position? You only have one.
If I only had one, I think I'm redeeming it for the physical. You have enough digital NFTs, right?
Yeah.
You can diversify a little bit. I think get some physical things in your life, touch.
I think it'd be a nice little conversation starter to put like in the living room or something too. We have people over and they say, "Oh, what's that?" And I could be the snooty person. It's like, "Oh, that's an original Damien Hirst."
Yeah, but it's kind of different than the art pieces or the NFTs you have printed behind you, right? Because it's like it was meant to be like that physical version, like printed out like that. So
it's
on canvas, right?
It's on canvas. It's like his it's like his paint and everything on canvas, because he made these back in like 2016, put them in a vault, and if you decide to keep the NFT, he's going to burn whichever ones aren't redeemed for the physical. So it's a kind of an interesting concept. That's why that's kind of what drew me towards it. I like the artist doing something unique and creative. So maybe I'll redeem it and maybe it'll look nice. But let's go ahead and before we look at the losers for the day. Anything else out of this stick out to you for some of the gainers?
Not Really? Yeah, no, this is all kind of. I'm just wondering myself, like in my head, are any of these things pumping a little bit off the VCon conference? So for those of you in the chat who don't know, the VCon is going on. That is a NFT conference being put on by Gary Vee and his team. That's going on in Minnesota this week or this past week. So I'm just wondering if
Yeah.
any of these projects like Dapper Dinos, right?
Yeah,
Like
that's the one that's the one that sticks out to me is the V, because that's like I feel like Dapper Dinos was always tied to Gary V.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of Dapper Dino stuff at VCon, so I feel like they're getting a pump because of they're getting the VCon pump. So if you have them, this may be a good exit point, like during the hype while people are talking about them, because this time next week, no one's gonna be talking about Dapper Dinos again.
yes, sir. Yeah, that's just what I'm wondering. And then
Yeah.
you know, maybe we'll see. Maybe it's a good strategy for the items that you have kind of left over or that aren't worth much. Like which ones are wanting to do something at NFT NYC. So I don't know what Deadfellas are sitting at, but you know that's one that they went kind of hard last year in NFT NYC. I'd imagine that they're trying to do it again. Maybe they have a little pump over there, and then you could sell out. I don't think I'm looking to buy anything to going into NFT NYC.
Right.
But yeah, that's just something. Maybe it provides a good extra exit point.
Sure. Absolutely, that's a good point. I'm really curious to see how things shape up heading into NFT NYC and kind of like the following afterwards. But all right, so looking at some of the losers, and we've got, I mean, these top two. These are projects that people know about. So the first one's Crypto Bats by Ozzy Osbourne. It's down to
tough.
down to 0.15, man. These were like, I think they sold out. Wasn't this like a Dutch auction? They sold out at like 0.8 or something, 0.7.
Yeah, they got up pretty high too.
Yeah, and then they got up to I think 1.5 or so. They had the whole thing where you can mutate your ape, right? If you let your bat bite it, and you get another bat that's the same as your ape or something. I didn't know how it worked out. I never did it because I just was like, I'm not going to let something interact with my ape's contract. Pretty much, like it's not for me. So yeah, those are down to 0.15. Oni Force, they just keep getting beaten up. They're down 25%, down to 0.28. Man, and then yeah, looking through this, anything else stick out to you? I think my last thing was the Treeverse. You know, those are down to 0.7, and these were up to I think 2.5 through ETH at one point, right? And we're starting to see a lot of these metaverse lands kind of just bleed out a little bit.
I mean, Hunter over there looking good. Invisible Friends, not sure if he still has it or not, but to be still at over 4 ETH. I know they were going for like 6 or 7, I think, at one point, but still sitting over 4 ETH ain't too bad in this market. The other things that kind of stick out to me because they hurt is World of Women Galaxy down there at 0.56.
I just tried to ignore that one. I just looked it over. I was like, I'm not going to talk about that one. But yeah, I still got a bag of those, so that definitely hurts.
And then Cool Man's kind of struggling over there, 0.44, despite the airdrop stuff and the NFT NYC.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about the Cool Man's airdrop here pretty shortly as well, and I think that's probably a cause. You know, they had announced the airdrop, got a pump, and then the airdrop was released, so then they got the natural. We always see all the time once it's you know, given out, then the OG collection drops down a little bit. So I think that's kind of what we saw.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Miladies are dropping, which those should be in the dirt pretty much. There's a lot of drama with those going around. If you're basically on NFT Twitter, you pretty much have seen that, but we're not going to recap any of that. All right. And any final thoughts on the market changes before we move on?
Nope, that is it, really.
Cool. Well, we've had a couple events and a couple of reveals in the last day or two, so we kind of wanted to go over those. So the first one of the bigger ones, we had the Chimpers. So I know a lot of people in the Discord. I've never really been involved in it, but I know a lot of people had. So I've always been interested and always kind of keep track of it. So I know Kaz had some of these. BSB was involved in these as well, and I think Dork God as well. So GG's to them. You know, they minted these out. And for those that don't know what Chimpers are, it's from Timpers. They're the artist, and it's behind the Bored Ape Chronicles. They've been around since like July of last year. It's kind of like an OG project, and they had like I think the original collection. It was like maybe out of 100 or 200 of the OGs. And they were selling for like their floor was like 30, 40 ETH, like quite a bit. So they had this more this broader generative collection released. I think this was yesterday that it was minted out and released. And their floor is sitting at 3 ETH. They've had a lot of activity They've had a lot of sales over 10 ETH. Dingling has been buying up a lot of the rares at like 30, 40 ETH. So yeah, were you involved in this at all? Did you mint one? And what do you think? How do you think these look? It's a pixel art project.
No, I didn't mint one. I didn't enter the raffle or anything like that. Known them out, Chimpers, like you said, for a long time. They've been around. It's just not a vibe for me. It's still just nothing that like I didn't think was unique enough or like skillful enough. In terms of the art pieces and just everybody owning the kind of the same one, kind of higher edition count. Not too high, but it was just like I would love to see I would pay something like that to see my ape in the art versus just like the same scene. And then just the Chimpers. Hey, like they look pretty cool. What is the other ape project that came out early last year, like after Bored Apes? Everybody kind of aped into them at night.
The Ape Gang?
Yeah, Ape Gang, right. They're kind of reminiscent of the Ape Gang, but honestly, I'd probably take Ape Gang over this.
Oof. Yeah. I mean, I think they look good for what, I mean, I'm not like a big pixel art guy, like, I don't know. I've never been a big pixel art person. So anytime I see pixel art, I'm assuming like there's some kind of like deeper utility or a token behind it. So, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know too much about the Chimpers project, Tempers, or anything like that. I know that the guy was in my DMs last summer, like trying to shill the Bored Ape Chronicles, and I kind of blew him off and never paid attention to it. Obviously, that was a missed opportunity for me because they've been doing very well. It's probably it's been one of the more organic community, like one of the more organic projects that's been building over the last almost a year, which is good to see. But yeah, it's just not. It doesn't look like anything special to me. Just looking at it, 3 ETH, I'm not going to be paying that, but hey, some people out there will. And if you were able to mint these, then GG's.
I think it does take like a certain skill set and definitely time to do the pixel art. Not saying it's easy, but I think, I don't know. It's just, I don't think it's most people's style and just not something that I ever got involved with, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it looks like we've had some big sales. This one sold for 60 ETH. It wasn't even dingling. So
it wasn't even dingling.
I was expecting it to be dingling. It's not even dingling. But yeah, so I mean, they had some huge sales on. I'm assuming it's the one of one. Yeah, the Divine Chimpers. So yeah, it's always good to see if you're a holder on a project, it's always good to see those big sales on the rares, and especially it's good to see some of the more influential whales involved in the project. So it could definitely still end up being, it's definitely a W if you're able to mint it and you're in the project.
For some reason, I feel like the whole Chimpers collection is kind of like being held up by a few core, like OG apes.
Yeah. From
the Bored Ape community, like some of those OG like whales and or old heads. I feel like this is just kind of like their vibe, right? Yeah. Like it just gives them that kind of like retro feel. Yeah. Maybe I don't know, Nintendo, but yeah. I mean they're cool. I like them, but I'm still not a buyer. Okay. I don't own anything of Chimpers, but it's pretty cool to see them do well in this market though.
Yeah, well, let's move on to something that's more your vibe. Right, and that's the Goblin Town WTF. These scream Yo Jeremy all over them.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yes. Now this is skill.
So this is fine art. Hunter wishes that he could be an artist that creates these. But yeah, so these minted out, I'm pretty sure yesterday, and it was a free mint, if I remember correctly. Yeah, free mint, and they're at 0.06. So hey, for a free mint, that's a W right there. We take, especially in the bear market, we take those.
Yes, sir.
I missed the mint, but I know several people in the in the Discord minted. Pitch Dark, I know he minted them. So GG's to him. So hey, what do you think about the Goblin Towns?
I mean, I heard about these pretty early on when the mint started, and then I wasn't in the Discord voice channel at first, but I was, I saw them coming out, and I was like, hey, yo, I'm kind of a fan, not gonna lie. Like for the memes, like I thought that this was something that could go, but then I posted in the Discord, I was like, Hunter, are you gonna mint goblins? Because again, I wasn't in the voice channel, but then I didn't really see like anybody going crazy about them. So then I just
I'm not gonna lie. I saw you post in the Discord of someone was minting goblins, and I was like, okay, this guy's trying to fish for a D's nuts joke.
no.
Right, like goblin D's nuts. Like I legitimately thought about that because I didn't even know about this project. So I was like, oh, who's gonna fall for it? I was waiting, and then I found out later. I'm like, oh, it's an actual project. Like, okay,
Yeah,
And I felt kind of dumb, but I thought you were just fishing for a joke. I'm like, oh man, Jeremy's feeling it today.
Nah, I was trying to get a vibe check, and then nobody checked me. So then I was like, all
I think
right, well,
maybe
guess
everyone
not.
else thought the same thing. Like, I'm not dumb. I'm not going to respond to that.
And then I come back, 2-3 hours later, and I got a ping from Pitch like, hey, did you mint goblins? And I saw people posting their goblins. I'm like, bro, why didn't y'all tell me you were gonna mint? I would have done it with you guys. But
So it looks like we do have some decent sales on here, like several sales over in ETH. I don't know what these. I don't know anything about the products. I don't know what these eggs are. Is this like are these like one of ones that are gonna be revealed in the future?
that's what I would think. I don't know too much about it either, but
Gotcha.
that's what I would think.
Because we've seen some products do something similar to this, where the one of ones aren't really revealed yet, but you kind of know what they are.
Bro, I love that Kevin right there.
Yeah, that Kevin.
Kevin
That
is kind of heat. Okay, so I'm not gonna cap, right? Like obviously these things are meant to be hideous or ugly.
Yeah.
But it actually does take a bit, and there's so much good variety in here. But like the line weight of this art is kind of unique, not something that we've seen. It's more like comic, like newspaper comic style, right? The little shading, like to add some like depth to the skin and whatnot. Like this is not your typical just kind of like thrown together sketch, blah blah blah, whatnot.
This one, they looked at Schiller's hair and they're like, hey, let's just add that as a trait to this one.
Like honestly, I think this is, and it's two completely different like themes, but in terms of the style, this is to me this is kind of like Ghost, but and I'm gonna get crucified for this. But it's like kind of like Ghost, but a little better in terms of the like art style, art skill, kind of. I think. But obviously, I mean, these will probably be forgotten about in like
there you go
a month.
You heard it here first. Goblins better than ghosts, right here. Only on NFA you'll hear that.
Yeah.
Man, what a take. I mean, yeah, I think this. I mean, it's obviously like it's meant to look bad, so it's not. You can't just like. I think the art behind it, like, I mean, it's good, right? It's good for what it is, and it's what it was meant to be. And hey, I don't own any. I'm not going to be buying any, but yeah, like you said, this is one of the projects that if you mint it, I'd probably be selling it before it gets down to the price you paid, which is 0, because it's going to be there in a few months.
Yeah, I would give this thing probably a lifespan 1 to 2 weeks, but it is pretty funny. It's a nice meme to have during this time, kind of lighten the mood. I wish I would have free minted, but I was just trying to mint with the boys. But yeah, I don't own any. If the right one came along for the memes, I might buy it. But other than that, yeah, I'm kind of just staying out. And GG's to those who minted, as long as you didn't overpay on the gas price.
Yo, Pitch Dark says it's hard to make ugly things look good. Trust me, I own a mirror.
Nah, trust
facts.
You look good.
Actually, I want to look up. Let me see real quick.
But so, like on a high level, you see these things, you're like, okay, ugly, whatever. Somebody just threw this together. But then when you actually open one and then like you look at the smaller details, like it was quite a bit. This definitely did take some time for whoever did this. But it's kind of dope.
So this is Pitch Darks that he minted.
Yo.
And it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Like, I wonder if, like, did you send in a picture of yourself, Pitch Dark, and they just did like an honorary one of what?
Hey, yo.
Because I mean,
Canceled.
Canceled. No, but it's a vibe. It looks like my body, honestly. I'm not gonna. Yeah, so there's pitches. I know several people minted theirs in the Baz. Yeah, hey, Pitch Dark says he did send his pictures, and the facial recognition's on point, so we take that. But yeah, speaking of which, let's hop on to the next thing we're going to talk about, which is already right here, the OK Bears Yacht Club. Mm-hmm. And I don't really care about these at all. I'm not going to buy them. The only thing I wanted to bring them up for is because I want to talk about how they got verified.
Mm-hmm.
Like it took Crypto Mori's like 6 months to get verified, and the OK Bears Yacht Club gets verified in 24 hours. Like I don't know. Like I didn't even see this mint. I didn't even see these. I just saw them trending, and I was like, wait, how are these verified on OpenSea? It's like the OpenSea practice of them of what they determine can be verified and not, and how long it takes. It's just so inconsistent.
Yeah, this got to be an insider job. You know, somebody had to get paid. Somebody got blackmailed into doing this because there's no other way. There's no shot.
I feel like it has to be, right? Like it's like someone that works for OpenSea minted these, and then they're like, "Hey, let's go ahead and we need to verify this, right?" And it's I really wish, and actually, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a thread come out in like the next week or two about how this got verified so quickly, and maybe something shady because it's a blockchain. If you look deep enough, you know, strings attached to the places, to the origins, and there's people out there that'll find it, and I feel like there's maybe something here because it definitely doesn't pass the you know, just the sniff test or the whatever test. Just like you look it over, like it's definitely kind of sketchy.
Damn.
DJ Toasty says they got verified because they were a legitimate project.
Yeah, of
there
course.
you go.
Obviously.
You know, honestly, the community for them is just so great. And that's why they got verified. Is their
community is definitely one of the top things.
Their community's top notch. All right, so we're not gonna spend too much time on the OK Bear Yacht Club. Our recommendation is don't buy them, pretty much, because these never pan out. And just to prove that, let's look at what's here it is. Do you remember these? The Wicked Ape Bone Club.
Oh, do I? Oh, do I?
Yeah, these. I mean, talk about like the derivatives, like the. I mean, hey, and these are verified on OpenSea as well. There you go. But you know, these got up to an ETH floor. They got over an ETH floor, and now they're back in the dirt because guess what? These derivatives, they don't last long term. They're the only reason why they are popular in the beginning is because there's some creator out there that's trying to get a little quick cash grab. They got your money. Once they got your money, they're moving on to the next one. And I wouldn't be surprised if the same person that did this did the OK Bear Yacht Club. Like, I mean, there's a non-zero chance. And it's probably Zagabond from Azuki's.
Yeah, I mean, look, to succeed, you gotta experiment and you gotta fail. You know, and the web community supports that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's just about experimentation, and it teaches me how to build a successful project. I just take your money and then I go on to the next one.
Yeah, I remember minting these and I sold them all out pretty quickly because I expected this to happen. And look, there it is. And I would say the same thing for the OK Bear Yacht Club. But all right, so we have some more actual news, and we're all Cool Man's fans, I think, still, right? We still vibe with the Spešies.
Oh, we love the Spešies.
So they had a little airdrop. This was on Thursday. There you go, you're special. So they had their airdrop, and it was this. So everybody, you got one per Speshie in your wallet. It went to your hidden folder, so you had to go into your hidden folder and unhide it. Right now, they're sitting at a 0.07 floor. Oof. We still don't know what they are, right? We have no idea. The only thing we know is
infinite possibilities.
Yeah, the only thing we know is this enchanted blanket seems to be hiding something powerful, which I think is funny because I don't know if you saw the metadata, like whenever it was first released, they misspelled enchanted and it was enchanged. This enchanged blanket. With love, Danny.
With love, Danny.
Got your stickers.
Man. Got my stickers.
Yeah, so I thought it was funny that they misspelled it and they let it go through with that misspelling. They didn't catch it until after these were all distributed, and then they went through and changed it and fixed it. So makes you have some more confidence in the team right there.
Absolutely.
But so paired with this was this website, and it's this count, not count down, it's a count up.
Yo. What are we counting up to, though?
I'm not sure what it's counting up to, but I don't know if I don't really know any more information. I don't know if there's any more information out there, or if this is all we have. So
yeah,
I mean, based off this, what's your speculation?
I mean, maybe. Well, okay. In this collection, we have different world types, and then we know that there's kind of like a baby Speshie thing happening, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you want to do those two directions. Maybe it's some type of building or like house for those different worlds. Maybe it's like a mining kit. I don't know, to be on that type of world, or like some travel thing, or maybe it's a baby in a box. I don't know, but that's where my head is leaning, because we've had these worlds, and the only utility that they've added to the world so far, or what I know of, is on the merch drop. You are allowed to buy some specific items that were only available to people who own that world. So
yeah, and I think Ryan, the community manager, I think he hinted at the more species you own, then like the better your airdrop can be, or something like that. I don't know what that meant, but it basically was saying like you want to own a Speshie with one of these, like you don't want to own one of these by itself. So maybe there's some kind of there's some kind of multiplier for a Speshie you have, or type of Speshie, or how many Species you have, to be determined. I wonder if they're going to be keeping these revealed or unrevealed until in NYC, right? If there's going to be some kind of big event that they do that has these being revealed, or if they're going to be revealed sooner than that. If they are waiting for New York, that's a month away. That's a long time. So I hope there's more information. I hope there's maybe some kind of reveal before then, because we know how impatient the NFT space is, and especially during a bear market. If you're not being talked about, then you're not relevant. So hopefully they have some plans, and maybe we'll get some more information coming out this week about these.
Yes, sir. I mean, Species are a vibe, bro. Like, they've always been a vibe. I've held on to some, I've sold some, but I'd probably ride a few of the ones that I have kind of into the dirt. Kind of no point at. Well, there is a point to selling, but I've made plenty of money off of Species. And,
okay, well.
don't need to be greedy about it. I think not that I know the community, but the people that I know who own Cool Mans, like, there's just a bunch of positive people besides Pitch. But other than that, I mean, most of the people are positive in there, and we'll see what they do at NFT NYC. Maybe you get some dope merch or a dope little party.
Yeah, maybe so. All right, so we've got a little. How about a little merch review? We got this one was I was trying to find some pictures for some of this merch online, but it was hard to find, so I've got the best I can. But we're going to talk about some of the VCon merch first. So this is a picture from the one and only Schiller. They ran out of merch, but these are just some of the hoodies. Looks like it's got like some of the animals with the picture, the V friends on there, and we can't really see. I couldn't find any good pictures of them online. Like, I scrolled through everything, I couldn't find. I'm sure they're out there. I couldn't find any, so I don't know what the material looks like, or how high quality it looks. But just from first glance, here's 3 of their t-shirts, or 3 of their hoodies. I mean, what do you think of? I guess all we can look at right now is the style, and maybe like the colors. What's your first impression for those?
Looks like a Hunter type of collection, and that's no shade. I mean, it's just that type of like eclectic and diverse kind of feel to them. But yeah, I don't think I'm buying them.
Yeah, so there's those, and then we've also got, so they this was put out last night. They sold out a ton of stuff yesterday, and all the hoodies are sold out. I guess there's only 600 of each hoodie. And they knew there was going to be like thousands of people at this conference, which kind of feels kind of like, okay, that's weird. It's I don't know, it's strange. Like, maybe do something like the Apes did, like have it where you can still order it and they ship it out to you later or something, right? But this is all they have left are these 2 t-shirts. So here's this black tee. It says VCon. It's got the cat.
That ain't it.
That ain't it. All right. No. And we got this shirt. VCon with the V and the C. It looks like a backwards D, and some of the V friends on the sleeves. Is this it?
That one's kind of it. That's kind
of, all right, that one's kind of it. Yeah. All right. So this one's like a B to you.
Yeah. B. Yep.
Gotcha. Hunter says
B
nope.
minus, B minus, D plus.
B minus. What about? So this is like a.
That's
D,
like a D.
Like a D. Yeah. It's pretty bland, and yeah. All right. And then they've got these sticker packs.
Yeah, sticker packs are kind of heat.
And apparently the sticker packs, the reason why they're not sold out is because they think these things are made out of gold. From what I've seen about the prices, they're like, it's like a sticker pack and you pay like 30 or 40 bucks for it, right, or something like that. It's like, okay, I don't, like sticker packs are great, but for that, I don't know.
Yeah, sticker packs are kind of heat. I don't know about $40 heat, but
I mean, I've still got my unopened my Bored Ape sticker pack right there.
I need that.
It could be yours for $100.
Okay. Yo, I'll submit a PayPal. But we see our boy Von Schiller, fudding over there down there in the comments. He says,
I mean,
what a stupid move. Wait, can you pull it up again? Yeah. What a stupid move having stuff limited supply. Please fire whoever's idea this was, including whoever decided to have a singular merch booth. No reason for a 2-hour line, bro.
I don't know, whoever's not following Schiller on Twitter, he's there's so much positivity coming out of VCon, but if you look at Steve's Twitter, oh my god, this man needs to just leave early, just go home. Hunter says him and Amanda are just molding the whole time they're there, which is, it kind of feels like that, but it's also kind of funny.
Is that Justin Beeps?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, look at that. It's Beeps in like 30 years. But we've got, I wanted to find, I did, since we're talking about it, I found, where was it at? VCon responded to him this morning. I don't know if you saw that. So let's look at this, let's break this down live. Where's this at?
I did not. He's turning into T-Moss or something like that.
Yeah. No, they responded to
VCon's
him.
main stage, is it that one or no?
No, they...
Dang. I'm gonna have to pull that up.
I know, I gotta find it. Maybe they deleted it, but yeah, they responded to him. It was basically like, "Hey, we appreciate
the feedback.
Appreciate they're like, hey, thanks for reaching out, and we're gonna take this into account next year." Where is it at? I can't find it. If I find it, I'll post in the Discord or something. But they responded to him. It was kind of funny because they like addressed his other tweets. But it was a response to a tweet that like didn't have anything to do with the thing that he was tweeting about. So like you can kind of tell like they've seen his feed pretty much. Like he like Schiller's definitely on a list for VCon right now. He's on a high watch list. Yeah, I'll try to find it later, but
he should have been on the watch list with that haircut anyway.
Oh, looks like Hunter has it.
The hair color.
Here we go.
People only have that hair color for one of two reasons, and they're both bad.
There it is. Hi. Hey, Vaughn. We hear your feedback on merch and signage, and thank you for taking the time to let us know. We will adjust and do better for future VCons. Hope you have a blast, and shot you a DM. If you have cues, you can reach out directly, and we will help support. So, but it's funny because like we hear your feedback on merch and signage, and like the original tweet is not about merch or signage. So it's like it's kind of funny. It's like they saw all the other tweets too, and they kind of like, all right, let's respond to this guy. He's got some Twitter followers. Yeah. We need to do some damage control, I guess. Maybe Schiller will play a little nicer, but yeah. I mean, speaking of VCon, so have you been following much of what's going on there? And also, do you have any FOMO? Like, do you wish you were there? Because I know you and I talked about going to VCon earlier this year. I think a lot of us were planning on it, and then everyone backed out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we got too far in the planning just because I don't know. It just seemed as they release more news, as they release VFriends 2. The VCon tickets, it was just like, I don't know, the vibe wasn't really adding up. Like it sounded like a nice big deal, like a lot of projects and companies were going to be there. Minneapolis, nice city, nice place. Stadium, what's the US Bank Stadium there? Pretty dope. So it's like, how could you get things wrong? But then it added up, like as they were releasing news, it's like, okay, it didn't seem like they were doing things right. So yeah, I don't think any of us wanted to go, and then plus just a month before NFT NYC, so I think people were just kind of chilling.
Yeah, that's why I backed out, because back in like early April I went to New York for the Speshie's thing, and then I kind of wanted a month where I wasn't going to be going anywhere. Well, that was back in March, but yeah. Also, yeah, markets in shambles. So you gotta kind of like Hunter says, markets in shambles. You gotta kind of pick and choose where you're gonna go. And I would much rather go to NFT NYC and mainly go to Ape Fest than VCon. That's kind of what it came down to for me. So I'm not feeling too much FOMO, and everything I've seen out, like, it looks weird. Like, I don't know why they rented out a full football stadium and they're just using the field, and it's just like the pictures look weird because it's like you see the picture of the stage and then you just see like empty stands behind everything, and then there's just like the sections where people sit. Like, you could have probably saved some money and done like a smaller venue that's still plenty of big for what you guys are trying to do. So maybe they have more stuff like in the concourses, like in the like behind the scenes, so like I don't know, but it just kind of seems like a weird vibe. It just seems like like an influencer Gary V hype fest type of thing, and nothing I'm interested in. Like, people are waiting. There's lines of like 500 people waiting hours and hours just to meet Gary Vee and take a picture with him, and that's nothing I will never do in my life. Is waiting that long of a line just to meet somebody, right? Do you think I was thinking about it this morning. Do you think Gary Vee is like the most famous person that a normal person has never heard of?
Most famous person that a normal person hasn't heard of.
Yeah, like if you go to someone on the street, someone at the grocery store, and you're like, "Hey, did you see Gary Vee's thing the other day?" They're like, "Who?" But he's got like this cult following, and people like worship the ground that he walks on, right?
Would it be him or Steph Curry?
Okay,
no,
dude. Okay.
No, yeah, Gary Vee's got to be up there though. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was thinking about this more. I'm like, oh man, this guy, like people go crazy about him. And if you talk to someone normal in real life, they're gonna be like, "Who is that?" They don't like the guy that maybe like, "Oh, I think I saw him one time on NBC for like an interview, and that was it."
Yeah, the thing is, he's been kind of in a lot of different markets, right? Like in terms of shoes, I think he's been in watches before, trading cards,
wine,
yeah,
yep.
A couple different like Web2 companies in terms of tech.
South by Southwest.
Yeah, so he's had his hands in quite a bit, and I know people from that kind of world. Half of them see him as like a snake oil salesman.
I don't know if Hunter's capping, but oatmeal.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That man's a hustler. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, he likes to learn, right? Like this guy, he's just experimenting, right? He's got to learn. He's got to learn. And you guys, thankfully, you guys allow him to do that. You support him and allowing him to learn.
So speaking of that, and a little joke about learning, our next merch review is about that exact person that you're subtweeting right there in your comments. So our next merch review, Zagabond himself, the learner. He tweeted yesterday his famous phrase, "Check your." I think he's trying to make this. He's trying to make this be his thing. Like he did this on stage. Now he's doing it in a tweet. Check your wallets. And so this is the jacket. We saw the jacket at the Azuki party. We thought it was pretty fire. We thought it was cool. So this is the jacket. They airdropped this to everybody. If you're an Azuki holder, you got one jacket per Azuki. And eventually you'll be able to redeem it for a physical jacket in the future.
I mean, looking at this,
Hunter says right after I sold, bruh.
Looking at this or the other marketing graphic, I think one of the stills that they had on their site or a tweet, I mean, it was hella fire. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's probably the best jacket that somebody's made in the scene so far, other than the little custom 101s that people do for like Bored Ape owners or Gutter Cat owners. Like these, in terms of not even bulk manufacturing, but just like batch stuff. This got to be up there, top tier at least.
Yeah. I mean, I think as much as we shit on Azuki's for who they are and the founders, I still stand by all that. Like I think Zagabond needs to go, get someone else to be the face of the Azuki's. But with all that said, I still can admit this may be the best merch jacket or merch that we've seen from a project come out yet. And the way that they did it, mad respect, because they airdropped it to all their holders, and so it's this NFT right here. Let me find it.
Oh, there's a.
So it's like 0.3, and so it's an airdrop, and you can redeem it for the jacket in the future. So you already get you get this for free. It's not like you have to go pay hundreds of dollars for this jacket. They're airdropping merch for free, which I think a lot of projects should be doing that, right? Like I'm surprised Bored Apes haven't done that, and maybe we see more projects do that since they've done it.
Yeah, I mean, we did. Maybe they do something with the Bored Ape basketball thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, remains to be seen. I do agree, like, more projects should probably do that. Can you go back to their Twitter real quick? I think it's the pinned tweet. This is the image I saw. Yeah, on the left hand side. So this one looked more of like the realistic render. I'm not sure if it was like a real photo and it kind of edited a little bit. But anyways, just saying this here, I was like, yeah, I need that. I want one if I own the Nezuki. But I'm not gonna buy it because I don't own one.
I think this is from their party. This is the picture from their party. This is the jacket from the party.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Pretty heat.
Yeah, it looks nice. I wish the Azukis like I would love to like get one, but I don't want to like. It's just kind of a thing where it's like I wish that the team was not who they were, right? Or someone else was the face. Like, even if Zagabond like stepped aside and someone else joined and took over and they were the new face, like that would be better than him still trying to be like the face of the project, because that he's only sticking around because it's successful. But yeah, I do think it's funny. People in the comments, I was reading like replies and everything, and everyone's like, man, they sent us the MSRP of this, or the retail value of this jacket's $2,000, and you can go buy it for half that price right now on OpenSea. It's like, okay, the retail value is whatever they're going to say the retail value is. Like, it's not $2,000. But, it's, have at it, drink your copium, whatever you want. But at the end of the day, I think they did it right. I think it looks good, and I like the way that they released it to holders. And I wish more projects, I hope more projects kind of go around this path. Any final thoughts for the Azuki merch?
No, not really. I mean, diamond handers out there, Azuki holders. GGs if you still have those, and if you're gonna redeem the merch, if you do, bring it to NFT NYC, because I want to see that. I'm sure I'll see it on the street. But if one of you guys have them, then to see it a little bit up
I don't
close.
think they'll be ready that soon. But we'll see.
True.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, so moving on. So our next little topic is we had a big old sweep yesterday.
Otherdeed.
Otherdeed sweep. So someone swept not just 33 Otherdeeds. It was 33 Otherdeeds that had codas.
Yeah.
They swept the coda floor, and they spent 851 ETH on 33 Otherdeeds yesterday in a huge sweep.
It was like 1.6 mil or something like that. What was it?
I think that's over 2, right?
Yeah, something like that. But anyways, whole lot of money, whole lot of ETH, and for codas. So somebody's a bull on crazy codas.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, actually, yeah, it's probably like 1 point. I don't think it's at 2 million now because of it's like 1.6, 1.7 because ETH price is. I keep forgetting ETH is down.
ETH is down.
That whole thing, Oh man. Yeah. So I feel like someone. I feel like this kind of. I saw something like, man. I was like, all right. I was like, what do they know that we don't? Like, what's gonna happen? Because people are speculating. Because tomorrow, I think today's the last day that you can claim the Otherdeed for your apes, and so everyone's thinking that once the claim is over, we're gonna get even more details out from Yuga. They just think that you can't. I'm pretty sure that they can't release more details while the claim is active for probably some legal reasons, like whatever's going on. But once that claim is done and everything's locked and said and done and ready to go, I think we'll see more details. And I wonder if maybe some information slipped and some people have been buying up the Coda floor. We've seen the Coda floor go from like 15 ETH, a week ago. Now it's back up to 25, 26 ETH for the Codas.
Yeah, no, this is definitely an interesting sweep here. Like, for something, what we know of, and then how long we kind of see the time horizon being of the Otherdeeds. I'm just surprised, that somebody would pull the trigger like this. But at the same time, Codas are more rare than apes, right? No, they're not. They're more rare than mutants. But yeah, I mean, if somebody if they were super OG, like native into Ethereum or crypto, and the 1.6 maybe it could not be a whole lot to them, right? They're probably not even thinking of dollars. It's just 851 ETH. what does that matter when they have thousands and thousands?
All right, pitch. I was trying to find that for you right now. It looks like so you have Sunday at basically Sunday night. So Sunday at midnight. So midnight Eastern. That's the last time you can claim for your apes. And I've kind of been thinking. I'm still debating on buying an M2 serum for my ape. It's my last ape that I haven't mutated. It's my last slot. I've used an M1 on it. I haven't used an M2 on it. I've kind of been thinking like there's still some codas out there. There's still some mega codas. Like maybe I think about being a little gambler and rolling the dice and buying an M2 serum, mutating it, and claiming the land before this ends. What are your thoughts on someone doing that? Because I think I've seen a lot of talk of people on Twitter kind of have wrestling with the same question as well.
Yeah, I think you should totally go for it. You should definitely you and the other guy should definitely buy those M2 serums.
Okay, never mind. This guy's an M2 serum holder. I forgot about that. This guy's biased. Never mind. I can't listen to Jeremy.
Yeah.
You try to be the last M2 standing, aren't you?
You should definitely sweep that floor up to 69 ETH. I appreciate it very much, sir. Thank you. But for real, I mean, M2 serum probably not that bad of a price considering there's less than 300 left. I do think that the claim period was pretty short for Otherdeed, considering that, it's not like the other side is releasing tomorrow or next week or anything like that. So why is there such a short claiming period? I have no idea. I'm sure that there's news to come, but M2 serum's relatively cheap. Ethereum price relatively cheap. And for somebody in your position in terms of having multiple apes, and then the ape that you would use this on is the noise fur, right?
Right.
So your M2 noise fur, that's a pretty decent floor as well.
Yeah.
And then right after the coda sweep, right? So if you hit a coda, you're getting an insane amount of value right there.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. Like the M2 floor right now is 52 ETH. I just checked it, and you can claim an Otherdeed, which is the floor for the Otherdeeds for the mutant lands, like at 4 or 5 ETH, right? So the bare minimum is around that price. And then like pitch like ass, you can still claim ape. So yeah, you can still claim ape coin. So I can, once you mutate it, you can go and claim 2,000, 2,200, whatever the amount is for the mutants. You can go claim that ape coin right away as well. As long as the Otherdeed. So maybe it's worth rolling the die. I'm still debating it. I'll be looking at it today and tomorrow and deciding if I want to pull the trigger or not. That would also give me a full set for my noise fur, and yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I would then have 2 full sets for my cheetah and my noise fur, and I'd have I also have an incomplete set. I've got the 2. I got those 2 DMT mutants still too, but now I don't have that OG anymore. But I got the mutants still.
I think the thing that saves you here, that makes it kind of worth it, is again like having that noise for ape. If you had like some other, more basic one or more common fur, then probably it's a little bit too risky unless you just had a bunch of ETH and nothing to do with it. But yeah, the noise fur definitely like a saving grace, even in the worst case.
Yeah, I think I saw the M2 noise floor was like 32 ETH, so it's it's no. I think the floor for mutants right now is around 18, so it's pretty. It's definitely not a floor ape. Yeah, it's 30.5 for the floor for M2 noise fur. That's one of the best furs for the mutants. Yeah, definitely contemplating that, and I may pull the trigger. Cool. Any final thoughts on this on the other side, or the Otherdeeds, the sweep?
Just want to put this in here. Let's see. Somebody is doing that today and then doing it reveal at 7:30 tonight. I think my time. So 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. That's the tweet right there. The broadcast. That's gonna be Steve, owner and founder of NF Teams. He's gonna do his gold ape in 1 and 2, and then also claim the Otherdeed lands.
Yeah, it's gonna look so good. I mean, as we know, the rich get richer. That man's gonna get a mega coda for sure.
For sure, it's a gold ape. I mean, you gotta get a mega coda.
Yeah, it's programmed in. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. So if you guys are bored tonight, don't have anything to watch other than the Heat Celtics game. You don't really gotta watch that. Celtics probably going up 2-1. So yeah, watch this at 7:30.
Cool. Awesome. Well, we have one more piece of news, and that is. So we talked about VCon. So one thing at VCon, I think one of the bigger pieces that happened at VCon yesterday was G-Funk He was on stage for Pixel Vault. He did an interview, did a talk, and he released a lot of new information. So there's a lot of new news we kind of wanted to break down about Pixel Vault, because I know my Pixel Vault bags are still packed. I think you probably still have some exposure. I know a lot of people we know have exposure to Pixel Vault, whether it be through just planets, meta heroes, whatever's going on. Hunter, planets definitely is the play. And yeah, so Pixel Vault. So G-Funk talked, and the first thing is, Pixel Vault has now a partnership with Dana White in UFC. And Dana White actually had a video where he was, they played the video of him, and it's on Dana White's Twitter, where he's just stacking hats over there. Okay, dude.
Nah, because all I hear right now is cap.
You hear cap?
All I hear is cap. I think we went into cap mode, because anything that Pixel Vault puts out there, I mean, somehow it sells for money that's worth something, because they're always building. It's always the next thing. Always something going to come out. And when does anything ever come out besides physical comic books? When then they send one at a time. Like, they don't even care about trees, bro. How are you going to support a project that's always capping? They kill trees. They just talk about the next thing. They got somebody named G-Funk leading their team. And then plus the beanie history, we're gonna give Zagabond a pass, but then we're not gonna flame Pixel Vault. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, but they actually removed Beanie from the situation, right? Unlike Zagabond from Azuki's. I mean, as far as we know, Beanie's been removed.
That's cap. He's still there. G-Funk and Beanie are the same person.
Okay, dude.
It took my whole flow.
Anyways, so Dana White announced a partnership. I guess they're really working on some blockchain games and telling stories of some UFC fighters through comics or something. It sounds like more things that they want us to buy. Honestly, it sounds like more things they want us to buy. And then he also talked about the Punk's issue number 3 is going to be released. So another thing that we have to buy. And guess what? Another game theory thing where it's like, if you own all 3 of the comics, now you get a Punk's PFP, and that's going to be the new. What does it say? Yeah, here it is.
I'm tired, bro. I'm tired.
So you'll get a new PFP if you own all 3 comics. That's going to be the key to the Pixel Vault universe. Like, was that not Punk's Comic 1 or Meta Heroes or what? Now it's this new PFP that we don't know about.
I'm tired of buying keys to the key, man. Just give me the treasure, bro.
It's such like it is. I was kind of holding. I was going to go through all the news and hold all of my my FUD to the end, but you beat me to it, and I'm kind of on the same page. It's just, it sounds like more. I mean, listen, the partnerships, they sound great. It's gonna get people to buy it. It's gonna pump the price up, which is that's the point of it, right? That's why they're doing this, and a lot of people are buying it and falling into it. But I just see it, and it just looks like more things they want us to buy, more game theory that's going to cost us money or make us FOMO into holding. And it just, I don't know, man, it's just exhausting. Like, just release, like, pick one thing. You're trying to do Punk's comic, you're trying to do a UFC comic, you're trying to build a AAA meta hero game, you're trying to do. Now they also have a partnership with Major League Baseball, and like they had ads on the Pirates game last night after this was announced. So they announced it here. Pixel Vault Sports is partnered with MLB, which I don't know what that's gonna entail, but I don't know. I do not agree with this person that put this thread together. They said, hey, more bullish than ever. I didn't get that vibe. Like, I thought it was like, I mean, it's good. It just seems like a lot. Like, it sounds like they're drinking from a fire hose right now, and they gotta slow down. You gotta drink from that sippy straw at first, right? You gotta focus.
We found Schiller's alt, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's just, I feel like they're doing so much, and they just want more money from the holders. But again, my Pixel Vault bags are packed. I've got like 11 meta heroes. I've got like 5 Punk's Comic 1s, 5 Founders DAOs. I've got a lot of Pixel Vault stuff. But luckily, my entry cost was minting a Punk's Comic 1. So my entry cost for all of it was way early on. I've really never sold anything in Pixel Vault, so I mean, to me, like, the money, like, it's still way up from what I paid. So it's gonna be one of the things I'm just gonna hold until the dirt or until I'm in Valhalla, either one, and along the way we'll just see how it goes.
No, absolutely. I mean, look, Pixel Vault. I like the stuff that they come out with when I look at it, but then I just hate the dilution method, and it's just like another thing leads to another thing leads to another thing. Kind of makes it complicated. You kind of limit the people who want to come into the project because they feel like maybe if they weren't early in, or if they weren't in early and hold those kind of OG pieces, they're not being rewarded. So it's just kind of like it's a tough spot to be in. I don't really agree with the methods there, but hey, look, I'm not part of the team. They can do what they want. It's just this is why I haven't like loaded up on anything from Pixel Vault, other than making sure that I enter like, or I claim my free stuff that they give away, like the planets.
We don't even have sidekicks yet.
Yeah,
like, let us claim sidekicks or something,
we don't
right?
have a finished product from them at all.
Yeah,
literally besides Comic 1, like Physical Redemption, that's their only finished thing.
Yeah.
Okay, we do have a little bit of Moonbird's like little news in terms of the oddities, a little kind of sneak peek, little leak.
Oh yeah.
They released like an audio clip or something from their podcast, and they were talking about how owls, the way that when they eat critters and bugs and all these things, they regurgitate that, right? Like they throw it up, ends up in this little like pellet type
Sounds
thing.
hot.
And then when you dissect that pellet, then you kind of see what it was that they ate, right? Like maybe it was rat bones or like some type of like bug. I have no idea. But then that's where they cut off the conversation. So I don't know what they're going to be. They said you do have to be nested in order to receive it.
Which nesting, we get our first tier tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Like the bronze tier, like it starts tomorrow, right? If I remember correctly.
I think that's correct. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, I still have no idea what that means. Are these things going to be like power-ups? Or are they going to be bonuses, boosters, multipliers? I'm sure there's going to be different rarities of them, of course. I mean, of course there are. But are they going to be consumable? Or are they going to be something that coexists? Are they going to be another tier? I have no idea. But it does sound like it's going to be like these tiny like little critters and creatures. They're calling them oddities. But I'm sure that there will be some type of utility to them to boost your Moonbird.
Cool.
But I wonder if you can gather more and attach them to your nest, maybe.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't even know what to begin to speculate for that, but I'm looking forward to it either way. Both my Moonbirds are nested. They're ready for their oddities, and we're ready to send it.
Yep, definitely.
If you weren't a Moonbirds holder, and once they release the oddities, would you be looking to maybe buy one as like an entry point to like to have exposure to their ecosystem?
I think I would, but I would do it at a certain time. So I would probably do it after they're all claimed or after they're all airdropped, whatnot, and then I would let the pump kind of go down or happen, and then try to buy the dip afterwards.
Yeah.
That's where I would wait.
Later, Hunter. Appreciate you joining us today. Take it easy. Enjoy your Saturday. I probably would agree as well. I would take that same approach.
Yeah, and then I just want to shout out the Medikey. Medikey merch is now live 21 hours ago. The store is open for 2 weeks, so you guys don't have to rush. It's a digital merch. It's out there now for all key holders, no matter which one you own. The other thing was... Oh no, I lost it.
While you find that, we've got the Seaport Protocol from OpenSea. They released this blog yesterday. Let me put this actually in the chat because this is pretty cool if I'm understanding this correctly.
Oh yeah.
So this is basically they're going to be having a new way to trade your NFTs on OpenSea. They're changing it so it's not just going to be you put up an you're not just going to be you don't just put up an ERC721 token in exchange for an ERC20 token, right? That's just like you put up an NFT and someone can buy it for ETH. Right now, that's the only way you can pretty much trade on OpenSea. But this protocol, they're testing it right now, and they have it. People are going through it for bugs and everything. But what the premises is going to be is you can put up. Let's say, for example, I have my Bored Ape, right? I can put up my noise for Bored Ape and say, hey, I've got this for sale, and I want 4 Clone X for it. And so anybody can come through and say, you know what, that sounds like a good deal. I want to do that, and they can put up their 4 Clone X and then basically buy my Bored Ape in exchange for their Clone X. So it's basically a trade, and it's done all through the smart contracts and all through that. So obviously you don't get to nitpick the traits you get, so it's probably just going to be floors and everything, but it's a pretty cool addition, and if they execute it correctly, it could be I think it could be pretty valuable and pretty useful to have. So definitely keep track of that and see how they implement it, and see see how it goes. Hopefully there's no bugs with it, people get stuff stolen or whatever, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be super dope. But I do think, like, hopefully they tell people about the tax implications of that, or they lead them to resources, because a lot of people think like trading either 1 for 1, whether it's the same collection,
No
blah,
taxes.
blah, blah, there's no taxes, but it's actually, and maybe if you're trading on 1155, like let's say like, but why would you do that, right? Because there's, again, they're almost exact copies. So like the Into the Metaverse thing, right? Like why would you trade a phase 2 for phase 2? You really wouldn't do that. Maybe unless it's unredeemed redeemed, but in that situation there'd probably be I don't think that you could probably make an argument that there's no taxes, but for most trading scenarios, like, you do incur taxes on that, because the US government likes to think that there's a stop where you convert into USD at some point, even though you don't take the action yourself. When you trade, it's at that ETH value, which is USD, and then you convert it back to ETH, and then for the token. So yeah, I'll just say be wary of that. But other than that, I think there's going to be some cool trades that we see on there, and a lot more trading activity, real trade activity, versus just buying and selling, because that's going to be available to everybody, versus like you having to go into each individual DM or community, into their marketplace channel, saying looking to trade 2 Accutards for 1.
Okay, I see what you did there. Okay, dude.
One Ghost. What do you call it? What's that collection from Ghost? I always forget the name. The one behind you.
Oh, the Zodiacs.
Yeah, the Zodiacs.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So that'd be cool. And then, just by the way, we did have like a huge sale earlier, about 4 hours ago, for the Otherdeeds, like 235 ETH sale. That was pretty dope. If you guys didn't see that, that's token ID 90209. Yeah, 235 ETH for that piece of land. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Oh, which reminds me, the other thing I was just gonna say is that person, if for you guys who are like newer, or maybe you're not newer, maybe you've been around for a while, but if you don't use Gem XYZ already, you probably should. So that's Gem XYZ. It's a free tool for you to use. No ad, no promo. It's just a really cool site. They make a lot of stuff available to us. They build custom filters for collections. It's incredibly fast. You can do floor sweeps. You can just buy 1 or 1 for 1 on there.
Yeah.
But that guy swept the 851 ETH worth of Otherdeeds using Gem.
Right.
So he literally did that using Gem. Imagine if they ever come out with some type of reward for that, or token for that. This guy's stacked.
Yeah, and I always feel like the Gem marketplace updates quicker than like OpenSea. Like someone buys something on the OpenSea floor and it still shows on OpenSea, but it's not on Gem. So definitely a good shout out. And I use Gem daily to keep track of floors, keep track of prices, especially if I'm looking at shopping.
Yep. Like I said, no ad, no promo. We don't get paid to shout out Gem, but it's definitely a tool that we both use, and it's incredibly useful and helpful.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? That's all I've got. And looks like we went through our notes and everything.
BYO Pills, I think land selection coming up soon. I know the map explorer, if you guys are involved in BYO Pills, that's going live on May 31st. So you're going to be able to take a look at the outcome of all the different lands and their resources and what location you're at and stuff like that. So that's coming up. Just keep an eye out on that.
Perfect. All right. Well, that is all we had today. So we will be back on Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern. If anything changes, again, we'll post it on our Twitter, let you guys know. But yeah, until then, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Saturday. Watch some golf. Go cut some grass. Go touch some grass too.
Yeah. Don't forget about the mutation. Day 25, Steve over there doing at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. That's going to happen live there on Twitter on the broadcast. And it's a gold 8 being mutated M1, M2, and then he's going to claim the Otherdeeds. So it's going to be a pretty cool stream.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, on that note, we'll talk to everyone on Monday. Enjoy your weekend, and as usual, be your own alpha.
Enjoy the weekend. Peace. BYOA.
Peace.
See ya.